Hello, Craig. Hello, Helene. Craig, Helene, do you want to come out and play with us? I'm going to click the button that will give you the option of coming across. You can not approve it. If you don't approve it, you'll just stay where you are. Up to you, or let me know in the chat. Bob, you disappeared. It looked like you were coming across. Let me try you again. Let me get you across. Hopefully. Craig, long time no see. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Bob, come on. The broadcast is on. Come on. Come on. Boy, it's just taken, maybe it's just taken a while. I don't know. I don't understand why people aren't coming across a little more quickly. Helene and Craig, you've not read the book. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to have read the book to be part of the discussion. I promise you. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I won't embarrass you. Okay, let me try to bring you across, Craig. There you go. Okay. No, maybe Bob Miller's in there screwing around again and not paying attention to his computer. I don't know. We may have to go get his attention. Craig, you should show up any minute now. I hope. No? What happened? Tell me in the chat what happened, Craig. What's up, Bob? Yeah.
Oh, it's on, but I can't type in there, and I can't come over.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm typing in the chat. I'm saying hi to people, but it's not showing up. It doesn't show up in the chat.
Yeah.
I could hang out here with you, maybe.
Yeah, you could. I don't know what to do. I tried to bring Craig over. He said he got kicked off, but he's back on.
I get bounced off too.
Craig, let me try again. Add person to Hangout. Click. No, this is definitely.
It could be a bandwidth problem.
I don't know. I don't know, Bob.
I'll go back in and see if you can bring me over again. But I can't even type in the chat. Let me try that.
And you know what? The challenge is, I don't know what to do when things like this happen.
We can do it right here in your van. We could just do the thing right here. The webinar.
We could. But I'm not getting anybody to come across. And this is, we're live.
I could shut mine down and come over here.
To get rid of that stuff in case we have a bandwidth problem. Shutting down everything. Okay. Craig keeps getting kicked off. And that's what happened to you too.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really good. If we can't start a discussion.
Want me to shut mine down and then come on side over here?
I don't know what to do, Bob. Maybe.
Let's do it. I'll shut it down, then I'll come in here with you and we'll just hang out.
Yeah, but
we'll have a real hangout.
But if I can't get anybody else across.
Well, maybe they can then, because maybe you'll have enough bandwidth then if I shut mine down.
Okay, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're struggling with the technology here, folks. I believe you can hear me. I see your comment, Chris. um, and maybe that's what we have to do. To be honest with you, Chris, you might know more about how to do that than I do, because I've not done it. We've just always run from webinars on air, and if we go to Haynots directly, um, but can you hear me, Chris? I assume you can. We're working on it. We're playing with the bandwidth here. 40 seconds, huh? Shall I try again? Craig, I'm going to try again. So I just clicked the plus button that is supposed to bring you across. It looks like nope, you're back.
We have a real hangout.
What's that?
We have a real hangout.
A real hangout.
A real hangout.
Yeah. But if I...
Hi, guys.
Okay. Do you know how to take us directly to webinars on air?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Aren't you on there?
Well, we're on there, but we're in the... we are in the... I'm sorry, directly to Google Hangouts. So...
This is my first webinar, Lynn.
Okay.
Of all times.
So
I'm not going to be, in other words, I'm not going to be a real lot of help here for you.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Chris, can I try bringing you across? Let's try Chris.
It's good to see this, though.
Let's see if Chris comes through. If Chris comes through. Aha!
All right.
All right. Chris.
Hi.
Hello, my friend. All right, Helene, I'm going to try to bring you across. Because, Craig, I don't know why it's not working to bring you across at this moment. I just don't know what to say, and I don't know what to do. What I will do is I will contact Webinars on Air with a gripe report, a question, whatever. See if they can tell me, because I believe it appears that we got Chris. Come on. You can do this. You can do this. You folks know the story of the little engine that could?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we got Chris across. Why can't we get any? Why isn't anyone else coming across? There's Nell. Nell's on. Who else was on a minute ago?
Helene's on.
Helene, yeah. Helene. We're trying to get her across. Hey, there she is. All right. We are making progress. Craig, I'm going to give up on you for today, and I mean, I can try once more, and if you get kicked off again, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. So
don't let it frustrate you. Just deep breath.
Nell, would you like to come across? I'll tell you what. Who else wants to come across? Just let's get started.
There's Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson, you want to come across, buddy? Here you go.
Come on, Jax.
We're gonna bring you up.
I came across.
Right.
Yeah, you came across the parking lot, right?
Yeah. And Nell, you guys know when I click on the bring you across button, you're going to get a little thing there, but you have to give permission. So if you don't want to come out for whatever reason, you want to stay in the closet, that's all right. You can stay there.
The closet.
We already came out.
That's right.
Christy. All right. Craig, you want me to try again once again and see what happens now that we know that it seems to be working? Okay, I'll try one more time since Chris made. I have to go back and forth between screens to see the chat, so I'm not always seeing the chat. So here we're gonna bring Christy across. Hopefully, one person at a time, and we'll try. Let's see. Christy doesn't seem to be coming. Jack
Hi,
Kelly.
Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hey!
Hey.
How'd I get here?
I don't know.
What's going
Look
on?
where I am, Jack.
Oh, it's worse than I thought.
I'm in
So,
the back of the van.
I'm going to keep trying to bring people across. So, actually, I had a notebook. Did you move it? All righty. If you folks will give me just a second, we got a bit discombobulated here. I'm still trying to bring Christy and Craig across, and I'm not quite sure if it's a bandwidth issue or what it is that makes it not work. But right now, I'm not getting Christy, and I'm going to try Craig again. I'm not getting, but we haven't been able to get Craig, so we'll just keep trying. Craig, I don't know if I just kicked you off or you're coming across now. But hey, well, welcome to our first session of the Motivation Manifesto Mastermind Discussion Group. And I got to tell you, we were planning to do a hangout, but we're really hanging out a little bit more than we planned. For those of you who don't know and weren't on the Lunch with Len broadcast, I drove 2.5 hours to get to Bob's house because my internet connection down at my house in Mexico has been up and down for the last 24 hours or so. At 2:30 this morning, I was rebooting my modem and couldn't get on, and we're here struggling with a bit of a bandwidth issue here too. Bob's actually he's leaving. Okay.
He's gonna try to get back on.
He doesn't like us anymore. So. Okay, I'm gonna try Christy again. I don't know why she's not coming across. As I said to Christy, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm having trouble getting a couple of you across. I don't know why. I don't know what the issue is. I'm going to send I'll send a message into Webinars on Air, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to bring everybody out. Now there is a limit, and I thought Nell came across. We try that too. There is a limit of 9 or 10 people, but we're certainly nowhere there. I think Nell's coming. So I guess one question would be, how many people have actually read the first couple of chapters of the Motivation Manifesto? And I'm going to go ahead and look at the chat. And
I don't have the book yet, but I did listen to the videos this morning.
Okay. So let me start off opening the conversation with, what is this book about? And I'm reading basically comments from Brendan Burchard's videos. It's Defined Motivation, Personal Power, and Freedom in Your Life. And Brendan's comment is, the main drive of mankind is personal freedom. Emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, physical freedom. Personal freedom means different things to different people. So, if we go with that idea that the main drive of mankind is personal freedom, anybody want to jump in here? All right, I will jump in for me personally. That's it. For me, that's what all of this is all about. It's all about us finding our way in life where we are free to do the things we want to do with the people we want to do them with, where we want to do them, when we want to do them.
Come here, baby girl.
Amen.
Amen. I'll give a big amen on that one as well.
Okay? That's it? That's all we're going to say is amen?
Amen.
So,
If it's good enough for God, it's good enough for me, brother.
okay. So maybe we should have a little prayer meeting here. Amen. All right. So what
Only
would make
if we
you
did.
feel free and alive? So only two things can change your life. Something new. And that something new has to come from within, or something new that comes from outside of yourself. But I think for most of us, I think we really understand that the new has to come from within. We have to elevate ourselves to a new level of thinking, a new level of consciousness, in order to really feel the personal freedom, the motivation, the inspiration that we need to move forward on a daily basis.
Totally. Can I add something to this?
Please, that's why you're here.
Do you like my new glasses?
I love your glasses.
And the little hat?
Hat in the hat.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want to add to contribute to this is like, this is the only, people before we thought that it was always motivation from the outside, but when you go to somewhere to be motivated, when you leave the place or the evening or the course, you lose your motivation because it's from the outside. The only lasting motivation comes from within. There's something that you have a why so big, is so connected to your true self and your emotions that you make it happen. Why do you get up in the morning? Why would you want to go make money when you'd like to do something else? And you live in a society where we need the money. And if they would be living in a society without money, it would be a different game. We will just be totally doing what we want because we don't need the money to do it. But on planet Earth, this is how it is right now. So it's been like this for such a long time. And we cannot escape that. So a lot of people in online, they're trying to make money, and some are just concentrating everything just on the money thing. But the money is nothing, it's just an illusion. It's this energy we're sharing. Well, when we connect and we know why we want to make money, because we want to be with our kids, with our grandkids, because we want to travel the world, because we want to contribute to other people, we want to meet other people, we want to help out. This is our true nature. So when we connect to that, and we know this is why we want to make money, so we can afford doing that instead of doing home and just doing a garden, that changes the whole thing. And for me, it is a driver, totally. Otherwise, I'll just do my garden. But without wanting to expand and help other people, I won't be here today with you guys sharing all that. And this is the beauty of it.
Barbara just joined us. Welcome, Barbara. Once again, I'm going to apologize, Craig. I've tried to bring you across a couple times, Christy. Nell, I don't know why all the bring across links aren't working. You know, and I don't know if it's a webinars on air issue, if it's a Google Hangout issue. And I don't know what to do. Now, Craig, do you keep getting kicked off every time I try to bring you across? I mean, if I keep trying, are you just getting kicked off and it's just getting too frustrating to deal with? And maybe you can type an answer in the chat. So Helene, I want to come back to that. I think you're absolutely right. In fact, you know, most of the time when we get a new person in network marketing or internet marketing or any of these fields, usually if you ask them why they came here, what they want, the very first thing out of their mouth is, well, I want to make more money. That's almost always the first reason, but it's never really the reason.
Yeah, what's the reason of the reason?
Yeah. So we have to help people dig deeper and deeper into their what I oh, so Chris says
Barb,
goes on
Barb,
there.
Barb,
Yeah.
Mute yourself.
Yeah, I was just going to do that. Thanks.
So what I keep coming back to is talking about creating our vision for ourselves. It's not just why, because the whys don't go deep enough. They come to the creation of a vision, for me, for what we want our life to look like in 1, 3, 5 years, where we want to be, what we want to be doing, who we want to be with. Anybody? Is anybody able to talk?
One more time, Lynn. What? I didn't hear.
Did we break up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So for me, it's bigger than. I don't know where we broke up at. So it's not just
your last statement.
For me, it's having that vision that gets me out of bed in the morning of what I want my life to be like, the life I'm trying to create for myself. And it's not money, and it's not any one individual thing. To be honest with you right now, I don't have a lot of money coming in, but I have enough money coming in. I don't have to get up and go to work every day. I don't have to do this stuff. I drove 2.5 hours to make sure this webinar happened today. I didn't have to do that. But I have a vision of what I want my life to be like, and that vision includes traveling and scuba diving and doing things with my family and friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you wanting to have some...
Pardon me?
Somebody was talking.
Go right ahead. Girls first.
Go ahead, Aline.
I was just saying that by the exercise you're proposing, looking in like 3 years what we want, then 2 years and 1 year what we want, this is the way to do it, because you need to have a vision that pulls you. You don't want, otherwise you don't want to think of the past that's going to pull you down. You know, it's past, it's over. You want something that drives you into the future, and you want to become the creator of your own life. That's why the exercise you're proposing is just amazing. This is the way to do it, to me, anyway.
Yeah. Okay, Craig, you're saying you want to stay on that side. Does anybody else in the chat, anyone who's not over here, if you want me to try to bring you across again, I will. I'm happy to keep trying. I just don't want to keep... If you're getting kicked off every time I try to bring you across, that's a problem for you.
Hey, Lynn? Bob?
Yeah.
You can type in the chat.
Oh, I'm muted.
And so I'm monitoring the chat right now.
Okay.
So Bob, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'd like to say maybe ask who has the book and who doesn't have the book. Then we can show them how to get the book, the online course, and what they actually get. See, what you actually get in this book, which Lynn showed it to you before, Motivation Manifesto. Brendan Bouchard, first of all, he's been around he's a young guy. He's only about like 37 years old.
Wow.
But over the last probably 15 years or so, he's read a book every single week. And he rose from bankruptcy. The guy was bankrupt. He was actually living his story. He was actually living in an apartment with his girlfriend. He got like real frustrated. She got real frustrated because he was like living there, being bankrupt. One day he actually had all his bills on top of her. She had to climb over his little box which was his desk in her little apartment because he couldn't afford his own apartment. And so she got under the covers, and she was like literally sleeping underneath the weight of all his bills. And so he just got himself up together. He said, "Just can't live like this anymore." And you get into the space, and now Brendan Bouchard's probably maybe the most sought after motivational guy in this space. So he's just an incredible guy. He has a lot of wisdom for a young guy. And when I read this book, to me it's like you know how you like to highlight, get a yellow highlighter and write down some kind of like what Len did with his pad right there. You don't even need the whole book should be highlighted. it really should be the whole. You don't even need it, because almost like every sentence I could take off of that book, put that into a little picture, and make a quote from it. So whoever doesn't have the book, you can get it. Go to motivationmanifesto.com, and for $7 you get this book. And not only do you get the book, but you get a 12-week online course that Brendan Bouchard, he has a different video every single week. And I think right now, I think it's on 5 or week 6. And so each course, each week he talks about that particular chapter. And that's what we're going to hopefully do here today. So today is chapter 1, just at the very beginning stages. So anybody, if you didn't get the book, you can still get it. You can order it, and as soon as you order it, then you get the online course. You can just get right up to speed. You can just come in here, and we will talk about it, we'll discuss it, and get your take on it. So back to the original question: who has not, or who hasn't? Jeff, I know you have the book, right?
I do.
Yeah. Does anybody else have the book so far?
Yeah, I've got it. You know,
I ordered it.
Yeah, because as soon as you order it, then you get the login information for the online course as well.
Yeah, I listened to the first chapter this morning.
Yeah, that's cool.
Barbara, I just saw your comment about you wouldn't usually come in looking like this. But you realize, of course, I mean, these teeny tiny little pictures, it's not possible to tell what you look like anyhow. So
yeah. Well, I'm in content creation mode today. I'm staying home. I haven't been out of my apartment, so what the heck. I wanted to just expand a little bit on what you were saying a minute ago, Len, about helping others and I don't know exactly what your words were, but I've had quite a little metamorphosis myself just lately. I've had the book almost since it came out, and I started reading the first chapter, haven't even gotten through the first chapter, and haven't listened to any of the lessons. But I can just only imagine, how I'm going to feel and how excited and pumped up I'm going to be when I really actually do get into it, because I just recently, maybe just in the last week and a half, I've started, had this shift in my thinking as far as trying not, I'm in a real desperate space right now financially, and just kind of this bad place. And I knew that everything that I was doing, I was coming across that way, no matter how much I was trying not to. I mean, you can't help it. It comes. People can feel that that's the place your head is at, I think. And, you keep hearing all this. Everybody always hears, you have to help people first in order for yourself to be helped. And this industry really is about more than just your own personal goals. If you help more people, the more people you help, the more you're going to get, all of that. And I don't know how it happened, but something shifted in me. And I have been putting out content, I've been talking to people, my whole mindset is completely different than it was 2 weeks ago. And it's like, I know that somehow everything's going to work out for me. So I've just relaxed and let it go out to the universe, and things are starting to work out. And in the process, I'm finding that I'm really being able to help a lot of people, and it is just turned me completely around, and I am so excited and so ready and willing to do more. All I want to do now is help other people, and there's no reason behind it. It's just I'm getting a high off of it. If that makes any sense. And
that's your passion coming through.
Yeah, it's I didn't think that I even would be there. I didn't think that I was so in my own crud for so long that I didn't even think that I would ever feel this way, So reading things like the personal motivational manifesto, and things like that, I cannot wait to just dig in. I mean, if people don't have this book, I mean, go get it. And I can't wait to get into the lessons so that we can discuss more. So, I mean, it's really what it's all about. It's all about helping other people.
Hey, Barb, do you find yourself like reading this book slower than most books?
Oh, yeah. And like you said, I would want to underline everything, so I stopped underlining. It's ridiculous. Like, why bother? The whole thing's going to be highlighted. So
That's exactly how I.
Yeah, if I showed you the number of underlines I have, it's
every
you know,
word
a whole lot.
has some meaning to it. So
I would like to go on record, and I want to applaud you. I want to congratulate you, and the reason is, I think you're absolutely right. And for each and every one of us to have that breakthrough where we quit being afraid of what's going to happen, and we just go forward with intention. And I, like I said, I put up a little video yesterday. You know, some of us were in the guru code, and to be honest with you folks, I don't remember who was and who wasn't. So if everybody was, forgive me. But it's still important. You know, way back early in the Guru Code, Larry taught us about intending our behavior and anchoring our behavior. And Bob has been really, you know, he's been putting videos out every day about that. And that's really something that I've been doing. I get up every morning and I have a diary. And for over 2 months now, I have written in that diary every morning, I intend to be happy today. And guess what? It works. And I have just about completely rid myself of the negativity, Barbara. It's just like, it's gone.
I know, isn't it awesome?
Huh?
It's awesome. It's so empowering.
No fear.
I have so many things I can complain about, I'll tell you right now. But I am it's so empowering, you know, to have those feelings, and somehow things just end up working out.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it Mark Twain who made the comment that he spent most of his life being afraid of so many different things, none of which ever happened?
Something like that.
I mean, I can't give you the exact quote, but most of the things we're afraid of don't ever happen anyhow.
Right.
There's no sense worrying about them.
Yeah.
I have a very good friend. I'm digressing now, but I have a very close friend who spent part of his life homeless, digging through what are those big things behind supermarkets? Dumpsters for food. And you know what? He tells you it was the happiest time of his life. Now, he's fully retired right now, and he's living life, and he's having a great time, and he's probably the millionaire next door several times over. But he went through a period of his life where he wasn't quite that. Do you know that Ray Higdon was in personal financial foreclosure in 2009? Think about that. My God, that's only 5 years ago.
Yeah, same for Brendan.
Yeah, and Brendan, yeah. Brendan was longer ago. You know, I'm jumping ahead, but you know what really motivated Brendan to write this book is that he was involved in a near-fatal automobile accident. I'm going to have to open my notebook to read the quote exactly so I don't get it wrong. But he was involved in a near-fatal automobile accident. I think it was in the Canary Islands or the Virgin Islands or someplace. I forget where. And when he crawled out of the car, he was standing on the hood of the car, and he asked himself, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? That was his reaction to a near-death experience. And it changed the course of his life. And that's his challenge to each of us, to ask ourselves that question. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And when we have to face the Grim Reaper. So I'm just trying to look down through the notes. So the fundamental question he asks is are you deeply happy? And I think, I don't know about you, but I struggle with deeply happy. I'm getting much, much better at it. And Barbara, like I said, congratulations to you for that breakthrough, because that's where I am too. I'm coming there. And from a personal viewpoint, why am I here today? No one's paying me for this. But I'm hoping that we all collectively get value from it. And if it was just me talking to myself, I could read the book. I certainly hope that we're going to accumulate a group of people that get value. I'm doing this because I want to help people. and help us all grow.
And we also have a group for this particular course as well. We have a send either send Len or myself a message. I don't know. I think it was like 14 or 15 people. Small, so small. We just discuss this book.
I got to get in there more. I haven't been in very much. I don't know. I've been doing so many other things. I can't seem to remember to get in there. But I promise today, as of today, I will start getting in and be more active in the group.
And I think that's a whole personal freedom thing, because just like we do get so involved with so many different things all the time. It's like we need to pick and choose what we really want to do. Do we really want to be in like 178 groups? You know what I mean? Because I know we're all being inundated with all these different webinars and groups and so many things. We need to really sit back and reflect at ourselves. Like, what do we really want in life? And if we have to say no, say no. Sometimes we can't be in every single group or webinar that pops up.
Well, that actually takes us into one of the major topics, which I'm going to get to in a moment. But Brendan asks us, and by the way, if you folks wouldn't mind typing in the chat, Bob and I can keep going till Miller time. Pardon the pun, but I'm thinking this is maybe a 45-minute session, and I'm also thinking, I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning. And I know some of you know this already, but I created a conflict for myself, and that is by backing this up too tightly to my Lunch with Len webinar that occurs from 11:30 to 12. I figured I could do Lunch with Len from 11:30 to 12, and then bingo, bounce right over here and turn it on. And what we're finding, of course, is webinars on air doesn't always turn on immediately, and we need some time to initiate it. So what I'm thinking is that we're going to bump it and start these at 12:15. And so I'm thinking 12:15 to 1 o'clock starting next week. Is that okay with everybody? And you can just type in the chat. So while we're there, while you're contemplating that, every morning, look in the mirror of meeting and ask, who am I and how am I showing up in the world today? Who am I? And how am I showing up in the world today? I don't know what that comment means. I can't attend mid-afternoon for me, so you might want to expand on that. Is this mid-afternoon? I don't know. I don't know where you're at, what time zone you're in. Eastern Canada, so you're 3 hours away, so this is mid-afternoon. Okay. So anybody, how am I showing up in the world? Looking in the mirror of meaning and asking, who am I and how am I showing up in the world today?
So you wanted us to answer that question?
I want to open a discussion.
Ah.
We're masterminding.
You know, I have to say myself, this is just so crazy because I haven't even read that part of the book yet, and yet this is what I've done recently, and it has to do with just a lot of the personal crud, the space I've been. When I was starting to ask those kinds of questions, of myself already, and maybe that's where, this breakthrough kind of came from for me. Because I wasn't in a place where I felt I had, I had a lot of knowledge, but I didn't feel like I was of any value to anybody at all, whether it be personal, in my personal life or in, my business endeavors. And I think that's what really made the big switch for me. So, and I'm going to start reading that book as soon as we get off here.
Anybody else have any comments about initiating our day, getting up, looking in the mirror of life and asking ourselves who we are and how we're showing up in the world today?
Well, for me, it is... Go ahead, Jack.
I couldn't possibly.
So tell me about these glasses, Helene. Tell me about them. What are they? What am I seeing?
It follows. It's funny. I didn't think it would follow.
You can get them somehow when you are on a Google Hangout. There's some kind of a link somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's
Over
on
to
the
the left.
You can choose. I'm sorry, it's my sense of humor. Sometimes it's a little bit off, but
It's all right.
It's cute. I wanted to touch real quickly, Lynn, kind of what you had said. This kind of follows what you were talking about there in the beginning, as far as, why do we do this? Why do you show up? Why did you drive to do this webinar? And I mean, we all get in this game somehow. Maybe we need some extra income. Maybe we're tired of the corporate life or whatever it is. For me, the pursuit of being an entrepreneur, and not having to, be restricted in my creativity or in my life is priority number one. But after hanging out with this group and people like everybody in here, it kind of has metamorphosized. And Barb, touching on kind of what you said, for me, there's a group of outstanding individuals who all want to come together and that want to make a change not only in their life and other people's life. And this book, anything that we can do that's going to feed our minds with the correct stuff, because this is a transforming process, and we need to be able to be equipped with this stuff in our brains automatically, so when we talk to people, talk to prospects, like yesterday what Pamela said, if anybody was at Bird Steel, everyone's a suspect, and then they kind of filter themselves into being prospects. So I think this is an awesome thing, because it's going to fill my brain and fill our brains with stuff that we need when people come to you with a little bit of negativity, or when you're just been beaten down after a whole day. Then what automatically comes in is the good stuff you've been putting in your brain, so you can remain positive and maintain that leadership role. So I think this is awesome.
I'm going to slide out of the seat I'm in and slide Bob into it, because I'm going to ask him to talk a little bit about anchoring behavior, because it's so powerful.
That's not really in his book, though. But
No, it's not in this book, but it changes. Go ahead, Bob.
He's not going to tug on his ear, is he?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Anything could happen. He's in the driver's seat.
I've done several videos on YouTube about anchoring behavior. Now, I first heard about that with Tony Robbins talked about that back during his personal power days, and it was one of his 30 days of things to do. And what that is, basically, if you just remember, I think it's an NLP trick or something like that, but you remember something that's like really cool in your life, maybe a championship game, a birth of a child, or just something that's really cool. Then say, like, maybe tug on your ear, or touch yourself, whatever, or like what I do, I snap my fingers and I kind of like just touch the top of my thigh, just kind of like one of those little power moves like that. So you can do something that you don't have to make a big scene if you're like a big crowd of people or something like that. So when I first heard about that years ago from Tony Robbins, so that's cool. But then unless you do something all the time, it doesn't really become you. And just like if we talked about this book, like this book's really going to sink in for us because we're going to be doing this every single week. If you just read a cool book, you say, "Wow, that's great," but then you forget it. You kind of just like, "Okay, well, that was a great book," but then something new comes along and you forget it. But if you do something all the time, and that's what Larry Hockman was talking about during the Guru Code, he talked about anchoring behavior, and I said, "Oh yeah, I remember that." But he said to do it about maybe 25 times a day. So whenever you do something, you remember something that was really great in your life, then do that little anchoring behavior. And if something is going bad in your life, which it does all the time to every one of us, it's like having a garden. The weeds are always going to come in. Weeds are always going to come into the garden all the time. You're never going to have a perfect garden. So when the weeds come in, we need to take those things out. And one of the things we can do to get those things out, like, the bills pop up or somebody just disappoints us, we can just do a little anchor behavior, and we can immediately get to that place where we go, wow, I remember that great feeling. So it's all about just remembering that great feeling that we had. And that's what anchoring does. So he said to do it 25 times a day. And so I started doing it, and so I actually did a video. I did a 21 days in a row videos talking about anchoring behavior, and so I started doing it probably about 75 times a day. So I don't stay down long. I get depressed like anybody else does from time to time, but I have this little anchoring behaviors thing going on. So it's like I'm not gonna stay there. I might get disappointed for like a short period of time, but I'll get out of it with that. And that's, again, going back to this book here. We do this every so much. If we're here 12 weeks in a row, and his course incidentally is for 12 weeks in a row, and he has a Facebook course, the Manifesto Motivation course, and we have our own course. So this is going to become us. It's going to rub off on us. We're going to become better at this. We're going to become better, I think, citizens. What do you any thoughts about that, guys?
It can't help but rub off on us.
What's that, Barb?
No, I was going to say I don't want to hog up on. I usually don't talk at all. But I don't know, I'm just excited these days. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree totally, and I think that's one thing. I've said it before that this is the big thing that I love so much about being involved in this industry, even though I, as of this date, haven't really gotten very far because it's all been this crud up here. And now that I'm making, a few changes and adjustments and things are changing for me, but man, I just want to jump out of my skin. It's so exciting, the growth, and to see it happening with other people too.
Right.
And just, you cannot help if you're not even immersed. I think if you just listen to some of this stuff once in a while, you read a little something once in a while, it becomes you.
Right.
And it's just the most exciting thing.
You said it right. You said it right there, but it actually becomes you. It becomes you. That's the whole thing right there.
Cool beans.
Repetition is the key to mastery. If we do it over and over and over and over again, it becomes us. You can't help it. You can't help but to grow and improve. Love it. So that's about all I have to say at this point here, Len.
Can I slide
Absolutely.
back in? We have one more quick topic, and we will have covered all the major issues. And so there's one more quick topic here. I'm sliding back in, and we'll have covered all the major issues that Brendan covers in his first videos. And next week, Bob and I will hopefully be on our own computers and not bouncing back and forth. But
different countries.
So it is up. This is from Brendan. I'm quoting. It is up to each of us to make our life what we want. And we have two enemies: the enemy within, the enemy without. Self-oppression, social oppression. Self-oppression comes from our bringing up. I mean, we've all gone through the bringing up thing. What do you think? Money grows on trees? You're not damn good and you never will be. That's what my mother used to tell me. You're just like old man. No damn good and never will be. That was the environment I grew up in. Many of us have grown up in negative environments. We've had to fight that down. It took me a long time. How about you folks? Negative environments in your background?
Me too. Negative in the background as a child.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? The Queen of Sheba, or So every time I want to make it big or to continue, like, who do you think you are? Like, I can hear it, in my head often. Now, at least I'm aware of it, and I can said, okay, thank you very much. I don't need you. Yes, I am Queen of Sheba. I'm going to make it happen. Yeah.
My parents used to talk about it so much that to the point as a child I would have panic attacks about what was going to happen to me. I could, feel it coming on, this panic attack. And I haven't had one in a long time, so maybe I got rid of some of it.
We all need to get stuff out of our lives, out of our thought processes, out of our brains, out of our subconscious thinking. Right? And one of the ways to do that is repetitively doing the kinds of things we're doing today. We need to flood our brains with positive thinking and just destroy all those old tapes. Just destroy them. And I still have bits and pieces of them. I mean, I can tell you, when I was in kindergarten, I was starting to steal alcohol from my mother. She was a drunk. She was drunk all the time. And the way I escaped her badgering at me was I stole her alcohol and went and drank it. 4th grade, or kindergarten. I was stealing alcohol. It was into her stuff, trying to escape her. So we've all had these things. If I told you my whole story, it'd make your hair stand up. And many people we know have similar stories. People that have risen to the top, like Ray Higdon. He's got a hell of a story. And the final thing, of course, is social oppression. A lot of us get into this business and we get put down by people around us. That stuff doesn't work. It's a scam. Nobody I know makes money. They all know Uncle Harry, who tried it once and didn't make any money. So clearly it's a scam. So we have our internal pressures to overcome, and we have the social tyranny of the external world that wants to hold us back and doesn't want us to grow.
It's amazing anything gets done in the world, There's so many people being so caught up in the junk in their heads. And we are really a minority in society, no matter what country you even come from, I think. It's like everybody has got so much junk that they have dealt with. I don't know, it just boggles my mind. And it's no wonder that we're misunderstood, by people who aren't trying to do the things that we're trying to do. This is not the norm, to try to be a healthy and emotionally healthy and productive person.
That's right. That's right. It's not the norm. We are unique. We are exceptional. What else are we, Bob?
We are crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah, good crazy.
But it's a good crazy.
Yeah.
Good crazy. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could change the whole world, make it a happy place?
We are.
I believe that. One person at a time.
One
and that
small
person
at a time.
starts here.
Yep.
We lost somebody. Who did we lose?
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack. I hope he went away intentionally.
Jack, come back.
I have to go. I have something pressing I need to go to. So thank you very much for allowing me to be with you today.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week, hopefully. I'll do my best to be there.
We'd love to have you every week. I don't know how it's going to go, like I said, but I'm going to come prepared with notes from listening to Brendan's videos, and we'll go from there and just have a discussion.
Okay. Meanwhile, I will order the book. Takes a little bit longer to come to Canada, but I will get it eventually.
Okay. And for those of you who were on today, if you like what we're doing, if you enjoyed it, if you think there's value, post about it. Put it out on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and yada 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 yada. And let's build our little audience. Let's build our little group.
I can blog about it.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay, bye-bye.
All righty.
Bye, Helene. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, bye, girls. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.